the presence of the Overseeing Director of the Administrative and Human Resource Management Department, Mr. K. Abiola. It's good to have you here with us. And I also recognize all the Deputy Directors here present, Assistant Directors here present, and my colleagues. Thank you so much for being here. Round of applause for yourselves. I would like for us to stand up as we recite the third stanza of the national anthem as our opening prayer. Please stand up, ladies and gentlemen. O God of all creation, grant this our one request. Help us to build a nation where no man is oppressed, and so with peace and plenty, Nigeria may be blessed. Amen. You may be seated. I would like to yield the floor to the representative of the Director General CEO in the person of Mr. A. Colere for the welcome remarks.
Okay, thank you, Chi. Good morning, good afternoon, good morning, distinguished participants to this ninth edition of the Lecture Series. As with this, I welcome you to this presentation and ask the MC to continue. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The Director of the Chemicals and Pharmaceuticals Department, Mr. A. Colere, and the DG CEO. people underscores her gifts in mentorship, public engagement, and collaborative leadership. A strong believer in fairness, equity, and justice, Dr. Foster has consistently used her voice and influence to promote ethical leadership, gender inclusion, professional excellence, and equal opportunity. She is an advocate of systems and structures that uplift individuals, empower communities, and create environments where innovation, dignity, and accountability can thrive. Her commitment to justice is not merely philosophical, it is reflected in her actions, decisions, and leadership style. Today, as she delivers the lecture titled Agility and Customer Centricity, Future-Proofing Supply Chains with Intelligent Design and Adaptive Supply Networks, Dr. Foster brings to the stage a unique perspective shaped by her scientific expertise, managerial depth, environmental consciousness, and strong moral compass. Her insights bridge the worlds of research, industry, and sustainable development, offering a holistic understanding of how modern supply chains can evolve to remain resilient, responsive, and relevant in an increasingly dynamic global environment. This citation celebrates a woman of intellect, purpose, and profound impact, a researcher, leader, advocate, and nation builder whose work continues to strengthen institutions, empower people, and champion a more sustainable and equitable future. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Dr. Mrs. Foster Uket. You're welcome, ma'am.
Thank you so much. I am sure I am overrated because all the things said here, I am not sure I have gone halfway. Thank you so much. My DG sir, represented by my brother, Alaji Cholera, directors here present, my colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to be here this morning to talk to us. Sorry, before I go there, I want us to know that I'm a chemist. I am a chemist. First degree, second degree, third degree. I've done a lot of work in chemistry and environment and other things. But here today, I have come to talk to us about things related to economics. But you also have to know that economics is life. In your house, you do economics. Wherever you find yourself, you do economics. And it is basically economics that we're going to do here today. But do not rate me as an economist. I am a chemist. Please. Thank you. So today I talk to you about a topic that is shaping the future of global businesses and regional businesses. And that topic is agility and customer centricity. Future-proofing supply chains with intelligent designs and adaptive supply networks. If we look at this, there are key words: agility, customer centricity, future-proofing supply chains, intelligent designs, and adaptive supply networks. When we look at these key words that I have mentioned, we now relate them to what we're doing in this council. Because basically what we do is raw materials, research and development. Please can I go to the next slide? The outline has shown in introduction, understanding the modern supply chain landscape, understanding supply chain agility, customer centricity in supply chain management, intelligent supply chain design, building adaptive supply network, the challenges and the considerations when you want to have an adaptive supply network that is futuristic, that is customer-centric, that is intelligent. There are challenges and considerations. We also have to take case study. Although I wrote case studies and presentations, but we're taking one case study, and that is raw materials, research and development. Then we conclude. I just want you to have an open mind, not see from the side of, from the point of view of an economist or somebody in that field, see it from the perspective of a chemist. Next slide. But before we go into that, there is one definition I want us to take. Supply. What is supply? Because everything, all the grammar we have spoken, revolves around supply. What is supply? My dictionary tells me that supply is the amount of goods or services that producers are willing and able to offer for sale in the market at a specific price and within a particular time. We cannot say at a specific price and stop there, because price today may vary tomorrow. So at a price and at a particular time. Please, next slide. Today's environment, we know, is defined by volatility. Today, a bag of corn is 65,000. Tomorrow, you cannot go to Sokoto to buy it. However it comes, it will become 150,000. These are the things that today's environment shows us. And that's what we're trying to get here. So the traditional supply chain that we know is either linear. You have somebody that always brings it to Otako and you go and pick it from Otako, or somebody that brings it from wherever and you go and it is also rigid and efficiency focused. Your own is, I will always deliver it to maybe Maraba market, Kuje market. You always, that is efficiency. You are efficient in delivering. But what we are talking about today is about concentrating on your customer centricity. Everything you are doing concerning your supply is being looked at from the point of view of your customer. Can we continue? Sorry, go back. Organizations that will thrive in the future, like our organization, because I know you believe as well as I do that this organization will thrive in the future. We are going there. I don't know if you believe that with me. We are going there. So organizations that will thrive in the future are those that can adapt quickly, respond intelligently, and remain deeply connected to the customer needs. If your customer needs rice paddy in March, you work towards getting to your customer in March, not getting to the market in January, and your customer will be looking for how to get it in March. So what we're talking about today is customer center, and any organization that will thrive in the future has to be customer based. Next slide, please. The purpose of this lecture is to explore the strategies, technologies, and mindsets that will enable supply chains to remain competitive and resilient. And by the end of this lecture, I believe we should be able to understand the value of agility in modern supply chain operations. We will also understand the value of agility. We will also recognize the importance of customer centricity as a competitive differentiator. We will also appreciate how intelligent designs and digital technologies support adaptive networks. Then we will also identify strategies to future-proof supply chains in dynamic markets. So, we need to understand the modern supply chain landscape. The current landscape that is shaping global supply chains are rigid, like we talked earlier. They are rigid. They are efficiency-based, not customer-based. But we live in a period characterized by increased market volatility. We have talked about it. Rapidly rising customer expectations. Today, your customer will say, I want brown beans. And you keep supplying brown beans. By next week, you bring brown beans. It's white beans that your customer needs. So you are efficient in your delivery, but you are not satisfying your customer. Can we continue? Go on. Then sustainability pressures. These are the things requiring supply chains to minimize carbon footprint and then improve ethical sourcing. There are people, if they want to source bentonite, they will destroy the whole environment. These are the things we see. If you have gone to a community where there is mining, you pity all of them. Nobody talks about controlling the dust that come out. Nobody talks about looking at the water that is polluted. Nobody talks about the people around there, even the roads. These are the things that we see currently. But for one to thrive in the future, because everybody is becoming aware, you have to consider your customer and then utilize whatever technology or whatever means that will make sure that that there is sustainability in what you're doing and that you're also taking care of human beings and the environment. Then the limitations of traditional supply chains, which tend to be linear, siloed, and slow to respond. These challenges underscore the need for a new kind of supply chain, which is what we are about to talk about here, that is flexible, connected, intelligent, and customer-driven. Can we move on? Understanding supply chain agility. Agility, for a layman, is being active. And yes, in this area that we're talking about, it also means being active. But being active and responsive to what? To your customers' needs. Agility refers to the ability of a supply chain to sense changes quickly and respond effectively. So you are not waiting for things to happen. You anticipate things that will happen. You know that from March to so time there will be rain. You know that your customer will also require the things you give him. Okay, I'll take an instance. What we have at the RDPC. Somebody is working on dolomite. He goes to the mine to get his dolomite and he comes to crush and package. But then he got so much request from his customers, but he didn't factor in the rains. But if you are customer-centric, you have to factor in what will happen by that time you supply to your customers. You will stockpile your raw materials so that during the rains you will have excuse to give to your customers. So agility is built on 4 fundamental pillars: visibility, flexibility, velocity, and the other one. But visibility means that you have you have to have real-time access to relevant information. Like what I have used as an example now. You have the information that there will be rain between so time and so time. And technology will help you to even determine what is going to happen in future. Yes, we have such technologies. How intense the rains will be and all that. You factor it in while trying to satisfy your customer. Then we look at flexibility. Flexible supply chains can adjust production, sourcing, and distribution of strategies quickly. Sorry, I'm still using that RDPC issue. Yes, if you are flexible, you are used to, you go to the mine, get the thing, then you come and process and sell. But when you know that your customer will need this also time, it will change from you going to bring to what it will change into you going to stockpile, get a lot of raw materials, store it, knowing that during the time so customers will come, by then you have the raw materials that you process and give. Let's continue. Then we talked about velocity. This is the speed at which a supply chain can respond to market signals. It focuses on faster cycle times, rapid fulfillment, and streamlined decision making. Sometimes we say, okay, I'm delivering goods from here to Gwagwalada, but you know that by the time you get to Lugbe police signboard, if we know that place, in the evenings you have traffic jam. You have to quickly take decision, know the fastest time cycle that you use to bypass that place, or look for a better route. It may be longer, but you are satisfying your customer. Then resilience is the capacity to absorb shocks and recover quickly. It involves risk management, redundancy in critical nodes, and robust contingency planning. So digital enablers help us to predict as predictive analytics. It helps us to be agile in our supply system. Yes, I talked about things that will help you to predict the rates. Things will help you to know, of course, and people will tell you where there is traffic jam, all those kind of things. So in supply chain management, we have to look at technology. Technology is a strong pillar that it resonates on. Can we move forward? Now, we look at customer centricity in supply chain management. Our main talk, because customer-based supply is what we're talking about. Customer centricity means designing supply chain processes and systems around what customers truly value, not just efficiency, but experience. If your customer wants yellow garri, you walk around it and give your customer yellow garri, no matter what it costs you. At the end, the customer will bear the cost. So, for us to achieve that, modern customers expect faster delivery. They don't know how it is. If you ask somebody to send food, if you order food for another person, and you say 5 minutes, if you don't get there 5 minutes, some customers will reject it. They will not pay you. And when that happens, you have a loss. Your business will begin to go down. Then real-time visibility, personalized products and services. Yes, you may be cooking, you are doing small chops, but if I want small chops that have more pepper, you have to satisfy me. You don't give me what you are producing. And you are now being customer centric. It's what your customer says I want. That is what you give. Then ethical and sustainable practices. I want to dwell on these ethical and sustainable practices. In the leather sector, we all know what we call Moroccan leather, the red leather. It is gotten from goats in Sokoto. The breed of goats that we call Sokoto red. That is where Morocco they don't wear goats, but it's Nigerian red Sokoto that they process and it access Moroccan leather in the international market. Our own leather rarely enters the international market unless it goes through another one. You may want to ask why. Because of ethical practices. Out there, they tag Nigeria that we're using child labor to raise those animals. So you understand what I mean? So a modern customer expects ethical and sustainable practices in whatever you're doing. If you are not considering ethical and sustainable issues, your customer, most modern customers will reject your goods, no matter how you do it, unless you pass it to another person. I hope you understand what I'm talking about. Then seamless omnichannel experiences. So what we are talking here is that when you center on your customer in your supply, you'll be assured of your customer loyalty. But when you are not, sorry, I don't know what you will expect. So to deliver on these expectations, supply chains must adopt a demand-driven planning approach, where the customer becomes the starting point of supply chain design. When you know the person you are giving, if I know I am coming to give my engineer Sirajo, and that he doesn't like being served in plastic, and I deliver food to him in plastic, of course, I have known that I didn't start from him, and he will not accept my product. So what we're talking about today is considering your customer when you're delivering whatever goods and services you have. Next slide. Customer-centric supply chains also incorporate demand-sensing technologies. These are the things that will help you to anticipate customer needs. Then omnichannel fulfillment models that serve customers wherever and however they choose. These are the issues we have mentioned here. Then collaborative product development, where feedback loops from customers drive innovation. Sometimes you come to a place, please, do you like fermented yogurt? Do Do you like sweet yogurt? Do you like just plain Greek yogurt? When you know that about your customer, remember we said that in the supply chain of modern businesses, you start from the customer. So when we do that, we find that you have not started from the customer and not the other way around. Customer centricity is not merely a strategy, it is a mindset shift in the entire supply chain. It's not a strategy, but it's a mindset change. And in modern businesses, we have seen that this is exactly where we are going. And we as staff and family members of this great council, we have to target our customers in whatever we're doing. Next slide. Intelligent supply chain design. Remember, we are now looking at all those big words. I hope they are making sense now to us. Intelligent design is referred to the strategic integration of data, technology, and processes to create supply chains that can not only react but predict and self-optimize. In the traditional supply way, the supply system, it doesn't predict. It is just linear. You know that if you're supply, if you are in production of, say, Oki, Akamu, when you finish, you bring it to the market. That's the regular channel. Everybody who wants to go to the market to buy it. But the modern, whatever is customer centric, you want Oki, that is corn and millet. You want the one of corn and sorghum. These are customer centered supply things. And that is what we're saying. It is predictive, not reactive. It predicts what the customer wants and what to do. And technology is helping us to do it. Data is also helping us to do it. That's what we're trying to talk about here. Intelligent supply chain design. Don't mind all the big grammar. That artificial, the key technology enablers in this intelligent supply chain design are artificial intelligence and machine learning, Internet of Things, Internet of Things, cloud computing, digital twins, blockchain. Through intelligent design, organizations create modular, data-enabled, and adaptable supply chain architectures that make them capable of continuous improvement. Next slide. So we now look at building adaptive supply networks. Future supply chains will no longer be linear. We have talked about it, just that we're repeating it. But interconnected networks, because sometimes if you want to supply, I'm trying to use raw material, the things we are familiar with. You want to supply as a council, as a nation. This is how we strengthen our nation's industrial backbone.